This is the start of a 2 days of jam-packed presentations, music, art events, tours, and special hypergrid safari on Sunday, led by Thursday Ember. We also want to take a moment to remember the OpenSim community members we lost this year, most recently the talented and generous content creator Luna Lunaria, and our own Mal Burns, who helped organize and led many panels throughout the OSCC's history. You can view a playlist of those online, and we'll share the link for that. And don't miss Sunday's relaunched in-world review with a live OSCC tribute to Mal. OpenSimulator is an open source, multi-platform, multi-user 3D application server software that runs this conference grid and underpins hundreds of public grids and many private virtual grid environments. OpenSimulator's first software commitment was January 31st, 2007. Every year, developers work to improve the software. OpenSim has had 181 contributions, who created 498,922 lines of code and invested over 134 years of human effort. And I will put in chat this and the link to a visualization that just aired right before this too. We are grateful to the core developers and are delighted to open with the OpenSim Core Developer Spotlight. Now I'll turn it over to my OSCC conference co-chair, Lear Lobo, who is moderating this session. On to you, Lear.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to OSCC 2025. We are delighted to open the conference with the people who maintain our OpenSimulator server software and continue to guide its evolution. In this session, we are pleased to introduce the presentation, The Core Developer Panel. Our speakers are Hubert Umarov, Melanie Maland, and Andrew Hellershanks. Hubert Umarov is an OpenSimulator core developer. He's currently a lead core developer who started on the project in 2012. He is instrumental in coding and implementing the OpenSimulator codebase, many of the updates that were part of OpenSimulator 0.9 through 0.9.3.0, and works on resolving issues and developing the upcoming releases. Melanie Milland, OpenSimulator core developer, has been an active contributor to the virtual world software, and she coordinated virtual world projects, including creating with a team of up to 12 developers her own spin on the OpenSimulator software, which powered the Avanation grid. Much of the grid's code, when shared back with the core code, formed the basis for many of the OpenSimulator 0.9 features. Kevin Cousins, who is Andrew Hellershanks in World, is an OpenSimulator core developer. Kevin has been a member of the OpenSimulator core developer team since March of 2014 and created and maintains several add-on modules, including the OpenSim Search and the OpenSim Profile modules, which are used within the OpenSimulator project. Welcome, everyone. Let's begin the session. Melanie, would you like to go first and tell us about your work on OpenSimulator?
Well,
We were talking about the Avanation grid code
on
and
Open
the
Simulator
viewer. Yes, some of the
in the past few years because I have been exploring other shores, even though I have been in touch and I've continued looking at the project because I believe that Open Simulator is far from done. In fact, I believe that the most important future development needs to happen on the viewer side. I've always been of that opinion that actually we need to cut loose the second life viewer and the sort of still cartoonish avatars and move this into a new and different environments that could potentially be, since Apple's coming out with new VR stuff, could be in VR. This is something I would love to see happen. And then there are lots of different things that can be done now that the advent of AI has enabled a lot of new possibilities that could be expressed in the virtual world. So those are definitely things that I'm thinking along the lines of.
Hey, thank you for that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you mentioned AI because we have several sessions during the conference that are going to think about virtual worlds and AI and the future. So let's get back to that in just a moment. Um, Ubit, so your work with the core, you are there every week with Andrew at the meetings, the core developer meetings, which are on Tuesdays at noon Pacific time. Um, I know we've been talking about .NET and the future of the server code. What is the impact of .NET changes on our server code?
Hello. First, let me thank you all to being here and for this great opportunity to see the community and all the great things that the community does with our software and so the viewer software. Um, it's already a great motivation boost to be here and see all of that. About your question, well, we do what we can to keep things running, and the change from .NET was, as it was a topic from last year, it was a great breaking change, and the change from .NET 4.0 to .NET now 8, and pretty soon maybe .NET 10. It's caused always a lot of problems because it introduce a lot of breaking changes that make us spend a lot of our time actually keeping the things that we already have uh, still running, and even losing some, like for example the great script engine that we had, that big contribution from Melanie, that was X engine. We had to drop it because the underlying code that made it work, like application domains and things like that, just disappeared from the .NET framework. We got some performance improvements, but of course not as good as could be if you were running in another computer language and in another thing like C++ or C or whatever. Well, we do what we can, and so far it's been okay. I don't
That's
know if I
great.
answered. Yeah, okay.
Well, absolutely. It's always a challenge to integrate when you have so many different tools, and of course, you're relying there on Microsoft and others, right, for these future releases and how to balance them. And while we can still use products even after they discontinue their support, that's always a risky proposition. So we're always thinking about the future and the
Indeed, we can.
stability.
We can. The fact, for example, Windows 10, the fact that there is no longer support for Windows 10 does not mean you need to rush to change to Linux. You can still use Windows 10 maybe for 1 year, 2 years, maybe 3 years without it breaking badly. And the same happens with the .NET. Actually, this region is running in is still in .NET for .NET Framework 4.0, 4.8, I think. Um, so, well, but we need to keep an eye and to keep improvement because eventually things will break. Definitely, things will stop working. Okay. About the future, well, I hope to see us all again next year here.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Now, Andrew, every week I see you helping to coordinate and organize our core developer meetings, and we're so thankful for everyone who attends, including Tampa Vincent and of course uh, Jaga and Kuga and all the different members who attend and support it. John Nagel, Joe, and of course Gavin Hurd for the Macintosh viewers. So I'm not sure that the public knows about our meetings, and they're open for the public to attend, right? And the logs are posted online. Kevin, that's over
Yes,
to you. There you go.
yeah. I know. I put the mic on mute while I was listening.
Sure.
Um, yeah, that's right. The meetings are open to anybody who wants to attend. Um, and yeah, we actually did get somebody recently, a few weeks ago, that hadn't been attending a meeting in quite some time, and they appeared, and I thought at first that they were new. I just hadn't seen them in so long. But yeah, we get to hear about the some of the other progress being done on some of the other viewers and discuss issues and things we need to be doing. Um, so
Right.
it's yeah, if anybody's got questions or concerns, that's a good time to to raise any questions or comments or that they might have.
Sounds good. And someone had asked a question about libgdi plus, that there was an issue with it.
Um,
Did you want to add
yeah,
anything to that, or?
I'm still excuse me, sorry. I'm still trying to figure out how to debug that. I have the source code for libgdi plus, and I find that I've also have another project or another program that uses that, and it always seems to be that when the program crashes, it's always because usually of libgdi plus. There's the code is somewhat buggy. There's kind of some when you compile it, you get some warnings that indicate that there's definitely some concerns in there. And um, I have the problem I have right now is when the program crashes, I get a trace of where it crashed. But unfortunately, right now, the information I need is not present. I need the line number and the file number and the file name to actually be able to try and pin down more closely where the problem occurs. And I haven't been able to figure out how to get that information out when I can do it for the main program, but when you're doing it for a library that's being used by the main program, I'm not sure if I one time saw that the library the build process, one of the programs may be automatically stripping that information that I need out of the system. So it's making it harder to try and figure out what exactly is going wrong with libgdi plus, so we can try and get it fixed and make any program that uses it more reliable.
That sounds good.
Okay,
Okay,
just
so
for the audience, libgdi plus that was about this was about a very deep, low-level detail. libgdi plus is just a subcomponent that we use in Linux for do the drawing for the dynamic textures and for the map. Basically, that's just that. A bit detailed thing. Okay, just a
well, that's
comment
good to
on that.
know, though.
Mhm,
Okay,
yeah.
so that's the impact there. Um,
It's one of another things that stopped working because
ah,
stopped working. Okay,
no,
but
no, that's
that's
good.
low level, just low
Sure.
level details. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's good to know. So, uh, for participating on the project, whether people wanted to attend meetings, find the chat logs, or even donate to the project, uh, you know, everyone is welcome to contribute, right? But there's a formal process for it, isn't there? Anyone who'd like to talk about that? How do people contribute to the core?
I think the only way we have at the moment is personal donations to your favorite developer.
Oh, sure. But I mean, actually, I'm also talking about the code. So if
Oh,
someone
about the
wanted to
code, yes.
submit, isn't there a
Yeah, sure.
Mantis?
Well,
And
yeah,
yeah,
we have a bug reporter system that is called Mantis
great.
that people can use also to provide patch to us. And also now we have in our GitHub repository, there is also the option to make pull requests. Something that I don't like that much, but it's an open option, and I already collect some code, some contributions from there, and I apply them to our main code. So those are and of course, some people just send me emails with patch contributions. Well,
Sure.
but that's not very nice. The main thing should be our Mantis and eventual GitHub. Okay.
Great. Okay, so we will continue this conversation at 11:45, but Melanie won't be able to join us at that time. So I'm going to turn it over to Melanie for some final thoughts as we wrap up this morning session and introduce the next session. Over to you, Melanie. Any final thoughts on the future and integration and some of those things we talked about yesterday?
Well, the one thing that's always been my main thrust since OpenSim reached the status that we could have called feature complete would have been to do something about the viewer situation, to create a system that allows a bit more fidelity and a bit more interaction.
Oh, thank you. Well, we did have a question come in from E.M. Jennings, and he was
For
asking about. Oh, I'm sorry.
a really long time, and it's kind of dated.
Mhm.
And the things that we can do, we're using Open Simulator not only as a virtual world, but also as a means, for instance, to present augmented reality, really requires to have some kind of a VR tie-up for Open Simulator. And I
Melanie, your voice
destination
cut out.
for
Oh, there you are.
OpenSim than it is to keep providing a virtual world that people just play and build in. I do see that if there is a better interface to interact with the open simulator worlds, there could be some business uses as well. Um, Seriously, pixel tunes are considered to be quite old-fashioned these days. So yes, Open Simulator has a huge amount of potential, especially as I said, in the sense of augmentation and as a research tool and a meeting tool with AI on the fingertips. AI is not just the classic thought of running an avatar. As a matter of fact, I ran Alice bots in OpenSim, had avatars standing there that you could speak to. But today we're a decade further along, and I believe that those are the directions that we should explore.
Sounds good. We had a question from E.M. Jennings on WebRTC, and for the audience, we contacted Mr. Blue, who's been working on it. And of course, we don't have an update at this time, but the work is still in progress. Anyone on the core wants to add to that?
Yes, Robert has been working in a solution for WebRTC. Sadly, I think it's only a solution for Linux, but that does cover most of our grids. But that's one of the problems that we have still open to provide a easier solution for WebRTC the ways the viewers want it to work. It is not that is it's their own protocol. But yeah, that's an open problem indeed.
Well, I want to thank the members of our core development team for your support, your hard work, and for continuing our server software. And I want to thank the members of the audience for your questions and for your support as well. As a reminder to our audience, you will want to check out the conference.opensimulator.org to see what is coming up on the conference schedule. You won't want to miss our next session, which will begin here at 7:30 a.m., and it's entitled Using GLTF Mesh in OpenSim. Also, we encourage you to visit the OSCC 25 Poster Expo in the OSCC Expo 3 region to find the accompanying information on presentations and explore the hypergrid resources in OSCC Expo 2, along with sponsor and crowdfunder booths located throughout all of the OSCC Expo regions. Thank you again to our wonderful core development team and to the audience.